Yuki took a deep breath in to calm her nerves before charging at Tengen with her blades drawn. Yuki held a serious expression on her face, but when her gaze met Tengen's, the only thing she saw was a bright smile. She chuckled seeing his toothy grin, a smug grin now forming on her own face.
I think it's time to put you in your place, Tengen,
She shouted as she made the first strike. Tengen dodged her attack with ease, trying to get in a quick strike of his own.
Ha! If you think you'll beat me this time, you might want to rethink that. You just don't want to lose to someone you helped train,
She shouted, jumping out of the way of his attack. She smiled up at him, showing no signs of worry.
You're right about that, but I know I won't lose.
He yelled back, sending yet another slash Yuki's way.
We'll see about that,
Yuki muttered. Yuki sheathed her swords, waiting for Tengen to be a few meters away. She took a deep breath and jumped straight upwards, doing a backflip onto Tengen's shoulders. It caught him off guard, but Yuki took that to her advantage, grabbing the chain off his dual blades. She ripped his weapons out of his hands before leaping off his shoulders, landing on the ground steadily, holding his swords over her shoulder. She smiled a confident grin towards Tengen.
I think that's match.
Tengen looked back at her, a stunned expression on his face. He hadn't noticed that she had sheathed her swords, so the grabbing of his took him by surprise. He was impressed she was able to outsmart him, and chuckled as he looked back at her.
Well done, Yuki. I'm impressed you were able to do that with such ease,
he said, kneeling in front of her. All of the Hashira kneeled as well, to show their newfound respect. They were all impressed by her speed and power, and how far she had grown in a single year nonetheless. Yuki was incredibly proud of herself, being able to defeat Tengen in a battle of speed and wit, knowing he was the fastest of the Hashira before. She walked over to Tengen, outstretching her hand to help him up.
Thank you, Tengen. I'm a little surprised myself. I wasn't expecting to stick the landing.
Tengen grabbed her hand, pulling himself up and taking his swords back from Yuki's shoulder.
Anytime. By the way, I think you should join me on a mission sometime. I want to see your skills in action on the field.
You flatter me, but as much as I would like to accept, I think I should have a few missions of my own first. Speaking of solo missions, I actually had one prepared for you once you got to Hashira level, Ubiyashiki said as he walked up to her. Send me anywhere you'd like, Master. I know I'm capable of doing things on my own. As she said that, her gaze looked back to one person in particular. You're the one who helped me realize that, Rengoku. She had a soft and genuine smile on her face when she said that. Rengoku chuckled, standing up to bow before her. I'm glad I was able to assist. Yuki, Ubiyashiki spoke, drawing her attention back to him. Your destination isn't far from here. It's about a day's trip there and back. The demon there is a strong one. We don't think it's a lower or upper moon, but it's still powerful. Use your skills to take it out before it causes any more damage. Yes, Master. I'll head out now. She spoke, turning away from everyone to begin her journey.
Good luck!
Mitsuri shouted, waving Yuki goodbye. Thank you. I look forward to working with you all in the future. Yuki shouted, running off into the surrounding forest. She made it to the location of her mission in only a matter of hours. Her powers made her a lot faster than a normal human, so she got there in no time at all. The sun had just fallen over the horizon, and the moon was covered by clouds. Yuki looked around at the village that was in front of her, knowing it to be a relatively peaceful area. But with this demon running around, the small town had erupted into chaos. Yuki could hear screams coming from inside the village, quickly rushing inside to see where it was coming from. She came across the demon ravaging a home, seeing there were 2 young demon slayers trapped inside. Yuki takes in an icy breath, beginning to channel her powers. She quickly rushes the demon, pulling it away from the door of the home. She slammed the demon into the wall, before quickly turning to the young slayers inside.
Both of you, get to safety. I'll take this demon down.
The pair had recognized the uniform and Hiyori she was wearing, and one of them said,
Thank you, Corey.
Your thanks is not needed, but my name is not Corey. I am her twin sister, Yuki. If you're here in Corey's place, what happened to her? The other slayer asked. I wish I could tell you, but even I do not know, she calmly stated. But that doesn't matter. The two of you need to get to safety immediately. I'll come find you once this demon is dead. The two slayers thanked her as they began to run outside the village. With the two gone for now, she fully activated her powers. She watched as the demon began to emit a yellow aura as it charged towards her. She quickly channeled her powers, dodging out of the way of the demon's attack. The demon was fast, but Yuki was faster. With a single slash of one of her blades, she killed the demon with ease. She deeply exhaled, watching as a condensation cloud came from her mouth, her breath icy. Her powers deactivated with that exhale before she turned her back on the demon that was turning to ash. As she walked out of the village, she was greeted by the two slayers. They ran up and hugged her, saying she was incredibly strong.
Are you a Hashira too?
One of them asked. Yuki smiled as she lightly hugged them back. I am, yes. I have stepped up to take Corey's place as the Ice Hashira. Thank you again for saving us. We weren't sure if we would be able to beat it on our own. The other one spoke. You may not be able to right now, but once you master your different breathing techniques, it wouldn't surprise me if you soon reach the highest ranks yourselves. The two thanked her again for the rescue before beginning their journey home. Yuki was glad she was able to rescue the two, now being able to begin her own trek home. She decided not to use her powers to get home, deciding to enjoy the walk through the night. The air was cool and moist, raindrops falling from the sky. The smell of the frigid air was calming after the exciting week she had had with Rengoku. She thought to herself as she walked. I want to tell you how I feel, Rengoku. I just don't know if you feel the same way, though. That thought was the only thing on her mind the entire way back to the Butterfly Mansion. She had nearly returned when she felt a crow land on her shoulder. Through the crow, she could hear Ubuyashiki's voice. We need you to return to the Butterfly Mansion immediately. Your assistance is urgently requested. Yuki snapped out of her thoughts, activating her powers to make it the rest of the way to the mansion. She saw the wisteria-covered path, running even faster than she had before. She ran inside, slamming the door to the meeting room open, panting.
What's going on? What happened?
No need to worry, Yuki. But there was no need to sprint all the way here. Take a seat and catch your breath. I'll explain why I need the three of you. 3? Yuki questioned, before looking to see both Giyu and Shinobu inside as well. Her face flushed red with embarrassment before sitting down next to Shinobu.
Apologies, Master, for the outburst.
No need to apologize. Now, we had sent many slayers up to the forest on Mount Nadagumo, but we have received word from many crows that they have all been getting slaughtered. I've come to believe that there may be a 12 Kizuki residing inside. I want to send in you 3 to not only investigate, but to get any remaining survivors out that still remain inside. Why us 3 specifically, though? Shinobu politely asked. I have a few reasons. First, with the help of Yuki's demon powers, she might be able to locate the demon and see if it is indeed a 12. My other reason is that one of the slayers we had sent in is another you had helped train, Giyu. Giyu had his regular stone-faced expression, but his voice had a slight hint of concern. Don't tell me you sent Tanjiro up there. We did, unfortunately. I need the 3 of you to investigate for me and report back as soon as possible. Who's Tanjiro? Yuki asked, her voice filled with curiosity. He's the slayer we originally meant to give your medicine to. He has a younger sister named Nezuko, who got turned into a demon by Muzan, the demon lord. It's been about 2 to 3 years since that happened, but he refused to give his sister the medicine since it contains a small trace of wisteria.
I see,
She muttered.
Well, if Tanjiro is in danger of being in that forest, I say we head out now. We can't risk him getting hurt or killed if he's still alive.
I'm glad to hear that coming from you, Yuki. Ubuyashiki responded. Head out now so you can get there quickly. Those lower-ranking slayers need the assistance. The three nodded, quickly heading out to Mount Natagumo. They all hoped that Tanjiro would be okay, but there was no way to know about his well-being until they arrived.